What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Love and Rice Podcast. We're your hosts, Aunt Ma.
Christina Ma.
And we've been talking a lot about how our goals when we're 18.
Compared to our 30s.
Yeah. And have we met those goals? Now I want to kind of get into some lessons that we've learned in our teens and 20s that we could tell other people to avoid now that we've learned in our 30s.
Okay, so you're to reword that what we've learned now today and what we wish we could have told our
we could tell our younger self. So pretty much I want to know, I want to tell people how important a lot of things are and are not.
Yeah, because I feel like when we were in our teens and in our 20s, like there was so much stress and emphasis put on like getting a college degree, for example.
And do you think that's important?
I think it's important to a certain extent. And I think that I've actually learned that from my interactions with other people, because I feel like school was something that I always knew I was going to do. And, it was a struggle for me for sure. And I stressed about it, but I got through it, right? I got my degree, but at the same time, I've learned that there are a lot of other people where they're just kind of not made for school. Like they're just some people who, like, I think even from being with you that, you're saying that you weren't like book smart. It was really hard for you to learn like in a school setting. And I actually do understand that now, because I feel like school is a good foundation to have, and having that degree, like it's a huge accomplishment, I feel like. But at the same time, like it's not something that you should primarily set your goal on. And like, that's all you have. If anything, maybe it can be a backup.
I would say between the age of 28 and 32, I had the mindset of nobody needs college. You don't have to go to college. You can start a business. You can start an empire. You don't need it. If you can't do college, don't worry. You don't need it. That was what I was thinking between 20 and 32. Okay. Now that I'm heading into my 40s very soon, I'm like, yes, you don't need to go to college, but if you did, you'd be so much smarter.
Yeah, I guess that's why I was saying that I felt like maybe it can be a good backup, if anything. So it's like, if you don't know what you want to do in your life yet and you're still trying to figure things out, like, yeah, go to school, try to get a degree, and, just have something just in case, like something to fall back on in case it takes longer to figure out what you want to do.
I don't even think that. I'm thinking, look, start your business. And if you know what that business is or that empire you want to start, now go back to college and study that. So now when you're done in 4 years, how much smarter are you going to be with your empire? So like I have so many businesses, right? And we do. And then we have other friends who have businesses too. And I didn't go to college. My other friends graduated college, UCs, stuff like that. Now, when I compare myself to them, oh man, they're doing way better because they went to college, because they can understand things a lot more, stuff like that.
Yeah, because they kind of like set you up, and they kind of give you a foundation of like life lessons and things that you would learn when you had to start a business, or how the economy works and how business works and marketing.
Like that's what college is all about. It's about life lessons.
Yeah, because when you're in high school, like I feel like academics were so important, and they kind of taught you the foundations for academics, like math, like trig, geometry, all these things. But you're like, what am I going to do with it?
All the subjects and all the things that you learn, I feel like that's a waste of time. But the teachings of how to do things is what is actually valuable. So even like you're saying in college, when you learn business stuff, it's not the business itself that you learn. It's like all the processes to get there.
Right.
And then now when you graduate, you take that mentality and you're like, well, this is how I was structured in school, and this is how I structure my business. And that's how you move forward.
Right.
So like same thing in high school. It's like, I don't care about all this math stuff, but when I do homework every day for an hour a day, it makes my life easier in the real world, because now I'm doing other things for an hour a
Yeah,
day.
it's
Extra
like
work.
it's like learning the foundations, and I feel like with high school, it's basically trying to get you exposed to all the different things out there, and you kind of tap into every category like lightly, and then maybe figuring out what your passion is.
What did you ask me the other day about Enzo? You said something about like he had a, we're living in an area where there's like, we're not used to this, right?
Yeah.
Like people have a little more money in this area.
Right. So the other day we were having a conversation with our son Enzo, and he was just like, my friend, he's 3, by the way. Okay. He's like, my friend, he told me that he has a dirt bike. So now I want a dirt bike. And I'm like, dude, you're 3 years old. Like, why would you want a dirt bike? That's not even something I've thought about, like even in my teens.
Yeah. I was like, do you even know what a dirt bike is? But I think what I was trying to get to with that is like, you asked me something about me growing up around rich kids.
Yeah, I asked if it made you feel like you were out of place, or if you felt like envious because, there are obviously people who have like a whole ton of money, and you can obviously see that given the area. So I kind of wanted to get an idea of how you felt growing up with that, because,
I feel both.
Okay.
And I guess the con of that is I'm kicking myself in the ass every day. So I went to an Asian high school, Arcadia High School, and it's a rich area because everyone who lives around there is like $2 to $3 million homes.
Yeah.
Right. And I was living like on the boundary of Arcadia and El Monte, where my home was like less than $1 million. Right. So I had like the small home. We had to build out more for more space, stuff like that. And then you have friends who are like 2-story mansions and, things like that. And it's crazy. So, every group of friends that you have in that high school is like, everyone has money.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just moved to this area from somewhere else.
Right.
So I was like shocked. So having those people in my circle, I was always like, damn, dude, like I need to keep up.
It was almost like Crazy Rich Asian status in a sense.
Kind of. I mean, Crazy Rich Asian is like a whole nother level.
Right. But I guess
within our little bubble, that was a crazy Rich Asian.
Yes.
And I was like, or like Bling Empire, and like,
yes, Bling Empire.
There's like,
yes, that's
there's
what
like,
I meant.
There's like Kevin who didn't have money, and everyone else in the group had money.
Right.
So I was the Kevin.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And so
I feel that.
Now it's like, now you see Kevin, who's very successful, and like he's got a new drink product and other businesses probably. And that's where I'm at, right? So it's like, without the rich friend group, I don't know if I would have these businesses or have the
opportunities,
or even have this like fire in me where it's like, I need to do better and do more to catch up to everybody else that I know.
So it kind of motivated you to want to get to that level.
It did, but it's like, the fire's still lit and I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it's like, I don't know. It's like a catch-22.
So it's like, it's having that, I don't know.
So is it a good or bad thing to have our kid live in a rich neighborhood? You know what I mean?
I don't know. And I think that's what I was trying to get to when I was asking you about it. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, because I didn't grow up around that. I grew up in Almani. I like literally have been growing up in the hood my whole life. So I was used to people like being in the middle class, and not, if there were any people who were rich, like it wasn't like flaunted out there. Maybe it was just like something that I never paid attention to because I never thought about like the luxury cars or all the things that they had. And maybe it was like little things like, oh my gosh, they have so many toys. Oh, they have all these like pencil boxes, stuff like that. But it was never a factor for me. So that's why I asked you, because I want to prepare the kids if they're going to be in a better neighborhood out here. Like, are they going to be okay?
I think they'll be fine. It's just we need to help them more.
Yeah. And I think it's getting them to understand that, there may be people who have more stuff than us, who have more money, nicer cars, whatever the case might be. But that's not something that they should focus on? Like that's not important.
Right. Well, no, I think
To a certain
school
extent.
and college is important. I think money is important because with money you can start your businesses,
Right.
and start your empires. So it's very important, I think.
Well, of course it's important, but I don't want them growing up to feel like they need all this money.
No. I'm not saying like that. I just mean like, don't waste 5 years of your like working from 16 to 21. Like that's money you should save instead of throwing it away on partying. Because
Yeah.
now I'm 18,
That's
let's go
true.
party. I'm 21, let's go party. No.
Yeah.
Save your money.
Yes.
Don't do that.
Yes.
Because you'll be in a lot of trouble when you're in your 30s.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to touch into. Like if they see friends that have dirt bikes and like all these extra material things, I don't want them to be like, this is what I want my life to be. I want them to know that it's great and they should be lucky if they have those things, but that's not something that you should focus on, like to have a good
You know what?
life.
I think if I told Enzo, I said, show me your bank account. Now, if you don't spend any of that money for a year and if you use it for some sort of investment, I will buy you a dirt bike.
So that's kind
So
of
you don't have to use your own money.
that's kind of what we're doing in a sense. So we got the kids this task chart, right? So basically they have a whole list of tasks that they have to complete, and then with every task that they do for the day, they get a star. And then we're basically teaching them, if you get 10 stars, you get like shaved ice. You get 20 stars, you can get Legos. But we're trying to also teach them like, hey, you got your 20 stars, you can get this Lego piece right here, this $20 one. Or you can save those 20 stars and reinvest it to getting another 20 stars and getting like a bigger prize, right? So I
Right.
feel like it's kind of the same principle, but we're kind of teaching
Kind
them
of.
with like,
Yeah. But they haven't decided to invest yet. They just want to get their $20 Legos every week. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
'cause they're-
hold on, dude. 40 stars will get you a bigger Lego. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Like,
they're toddlers.
it's
so
like,
I don't blame them.
I got that concept from the carnivals. You know, when you go to carnival and like it says 2 to 4 players, and you get this like little like teddy bear that nobody wants.
Oh yeah.
And then it says 5 to 8 players, you get the medium size,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then the large size, it's like the coolest Pokemon Pikachu you've ever seen. And you're like, I want that one, right?
Yep.
And the only way to get it is either you play with a lot of people or you keep winning and then you upgrade until you get that one.
You combine all the little prizes.
And that's
for the
where I
big one.
learned how to like, that's where investment comes from. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like it can start at that young of an age. So I think along with money that I think is important in you know, in terms of what we spoke about, I think skills are probably the most important.
Yes.
Because you can have a degree or not, but if you don't have any skills, you can't do anything.
right.
So I wish that actually I would have spent a lot more money on myself on learning new skills. That's why you always say like, why do you do everything? I'm like, I just want to know how to do everything.
You want to
before
be the
I
jack
die.
of all trades. Yeah.
I don't want to be the jack of all trades.
You kind of
I
are.
don't. I want to build my own fireplace so I can save money and also be like, yes, I know how to do that. Right. So I know how to build a house if I need to build a house.
Right.
I've told you that I've always wanted to ride a motorcycle.
I mean, I always did too.
And then you're like, no, you can't get a motorcycle because we have kids.
Yeah.
Right. But do you know why I want a motorcycle?
In case the world ends and we need to survive and we need to get somewhere.
That's what I'm saying. So let's say the world is like end of the world, right? And there's like cars on fire, mountains on fire, buildings are all collapsed, and then the cars don't work.
Oh,
but there's a
man.
motorcycle and there's some keys in the motorcycle. And you don't know how to ride a motorcycle.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's just like the situation that happened in Maui too.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, let's say all the motorcycles are now burned up and there's a plane over there. Do you know how to fly that plane and get out of here?
Yeah.
I want to learn how to fly a plane in case something like that happens. What if we are in a World War III and we don't have the skills to fly a plane, ride a motorcycle, you know? I don't know. I feel so useless. I want to know how to do everything at least once.
Maybe we should go take classes to learn how to ride a motorcycle then.
Yeah, or a helicopter, you know?
Yeah. I feel like that's actually something that we can agree to do, because I feel like I've always wanted to ride a motorcycle and to have one. But I think my parents always ingrained it in my mind, like, you're not supposed to ride one. It's so dangerous. And every time we're driving, I never notice a motorcycle near me unless they pass by it and they're so loud and they scare me. That's the only time.
You know, I've always wanted a scooter. Just so at least that could be, just so I know how to get away. But that's like riding a bicycle.
That's true. Do you need a permit to ride a scooter?
Not if it's under like a certain cc, which is like a speed for a bike.
Oh, I see. I mean, that would still work too, though. I would be okay doing that.
It would, but I think I want to know how to like change gears on a motorcycle, how to turn, stuff like that. I don't know any of that.
Yeah.
That's why I tell you, it's like you gotta get comfortable driving a manual stick drive car.
I mean, I can, but you know.
Like, we gotta get ready to bone out, dude, if it's World War III.
That's true.
If there's like, you know, if our community, like half the people died and there's like 30 people left and everyone's like, help me get into this helicopter. Do you know how to fly one? I'm like, yes, I can fly a helicopter. Like, you know what I mean? I want to be that guy. I don't want to have all of us be like, damn, what are we going to do? There's no more food. Where do we go?
So you want to be Tom Cruise?
Shouldn't every man be Tom Cruise?
Yes.
Or else how the hell are we going to get food? How are we going to survive?
Okay, I guess it's time to create a bucket list then.
Yeah, it's all survival mode stuff that I'm talking about. Or I guess my mentality is for surviving.
Yeah, no, I mean, that makes sense actually.
Right? Like, what if we went on an airplane ride and the plane went down and we survived and we were going through this like jungle, you know, and this jungle has like all these animals and we're in the most dangerous situation and it's raining and stuff. And then we're like, is that a small plane? Does anyone know how to fly a small plane? You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Like, you know, we're on a cruise and it's like, do you guys know how to drive this boat?
Well, I mean, that's why we put the kids into jiu-jitsu too, right? So that's a part of survival skills. I think you're just getting way ahead.
I'm just talking about how to work machines. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Get the hell out of there.
Yeah, I feel like maybe that might be good for us to do now. Like we're talking about all these things that we've learned and we want to give advice to our younger selves. But I mean, this is actually good advice that we should be giving ourselves now.
Yeah, these are all life skills.
Yeah.
So I always thought of getting my like a pilot license. You know, Amani has a San Diego airport.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to learn how to fly there because they always had a banner on the fence, learn to fly. So I wanted to get my license to fly planes. But you know, after you seeing videos on TikTok and YouTube of like people going these little small planes and they start throwing up and you're like, oh crap, that's what it's like. Now I'm like, I don't want to.
Well, we went in a helicopter too, and I thought we were gonna get nauseous from it, but we did okay.
We did okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess what I'm trying to say is to my younger self, learn more skills, spend the money to learn those skills,
and invest in yourself.
Yeah. So it's like, even if we weren't going to, you know, ever use our pilot license, at least, hey, little ant, you'd be getting a lot of girls right now.
Or what he's trying to say is that it's another skill to add to your list of things that you've accomplished.
And then you know, I forgot to the coolest reason why I wanted my pilot license is because I could take you out on dates across the US on the same day. We can go fly to San Francisco and come back. We can go fly to New York and come back. I
absolutely think that we should do it.
And then we got to buy a plane.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, okay, that's next on the goal. That's what we're missing right now in our 30s.
But I wouldn't buy a small plane because I don't want to throw up in a little small plane. You know, I'm talking about like the two-seaters.
That's what I'm talking about. This guy right here.
Because of the two-seaters.
We gotta start small and then.
No, if you want to feel comfortable, you got to get a little jet. Then you won't feel sick from when it goes like this. If you catch wind in the little planes, like, then that's where you're like, brr. But if it's a jet going, yeah, that's what you want.
And this is exactly
Exactly what?
A picture of how our relationship is and how your mind goes from 0 to 100, just like that.
It's me in a nutshell, guys.
Yep.
Thank you for listening to the Love and Rights podcast. Make sure to follow us on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Google, Castbox, iHeartRadio, where we put 1 hour episodes, 6 a.m. Wednesdays. Once a week, we have these uploads. And then we do our YouTube videos, about 20-minute videos that we put throughout the week. So I hope you guys have been enjoying this breakdown. Let us know where you listen to the podcast. Let us know if these life lessons have been helping you out. And drop down in the comments what you guys think, some advice you would give to your younger self. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.